Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I am back. I am back. I am back. I hope you guys didn't miss me too much. I have missed you all last Friday, right? I don't know if you all noticed, but last Friday you have all missed me then. I wasn't here for that time due to, making sure, we're all safe, we're all sound and secured because we were recently going through a hurricane passing through in the state of Florida. Two recently. First one was Hurricane Helene, and the second one was Hurricane Milton. And I keep hearing talks about there possibly being a third hurricane passing through. Now, so far, it doesn't seem like that's the case. And hopefully it isn't true, because I, for one, do not want to be involved in said hurricane or to be caught up in another hurricane, because as of now, they are getting busy with the process of rebuilding in the areas that Hurricane Milton has hit and Hurricane Helene has affected. Because we've already been recently notified about certain people losing their lives, losing certain family members, and seeing their communities being destroyed and being impacted by the recent hurricane that has hit Florida. And so, I just hope, for one, that we are not going to, have another hurricane come by anytime soon. And I hope it stays that way. So, that's my reason. I don't want to say excuse, but that's my reason for not being here last Friday. But I am here today, and I am glad to be with you here today. And for those of you that are watching that may not know me, my name is Brother Ricky, and I am here with you Friday mornings to give you all that I can, all that I know, and all that I hear about sports. So, I would like to start off with this and say that we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA has officially returned. Well, maybe not officially. We are on the preseason as of now. We're in the preseason of the NBA, so we are back, but not officially back. We'll be back with the regular season of the NBA come next week on Tuesday the 22nd, right? But as of now, we are back. We are back in action, ready to see who is going to come up and fulfill this year's, how can I say this? Fulfill this year's expectations, come back with entertainment, with excitement, and the whole 9 yards, right? So, we already got to see some players, getting situated, We already get to see some players situated with their respective teams. I've personally got to see a glimpse of Russell Westbrook getting comfortable playing alongside the Denver Nuggets and Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, and he seems to be good. He seems to be doing good so far. I like it. I think it's interesting. I thought it would be interesting, and I like it so far. Granted, it doesn't matter where Russell Westbrook might be in the NBA in regards to like teams, but he seems to be playing very well so far with the Denver Nuggets, and I, for one, am here to see it. So that's good there. We got to see Josh Giddey playing with the Chicago Bulls, right? And here's one exciting news that I'd like to bring forth, right, to you all, is that Lonzo Ball has officially returned to the NBA. Now, I, for one, am happy to see this. I'm happy to know that he is back in action. Now, of course, we're taking baby steps here, right? We're taking small baby steps here and there. We're making sure, he's properly conditioned, warming up, doing what he's supposed to do, because he has been missing nearly 3 years of being in the NBA. He's been absent from the NBA for nearly 3 years due to an injury that he had to go through, where he had to, undergo surgery. But now he is back, baby. Lonzo Ball is officially back, and he has played his preseason debut on Wednesday, going up against the Timberwolves. And the stats that he's put up so far was 10 points on his return, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Now, I spoke about Lonzo Ball before in regards to what I think stood out with him the most, and it was his assists, because this man he's really good at making assists, making plays for his teammates, finding open teammates, making nice plays for the team. And yeah, and that's what stood out to me personally in regards to Lonzo Ball, his assist, his playmaking. These things were what stood out to me the most. Now, granted, he's a very good shooter. He's a very good shooter. He's very good at being creative on the court, should I say it. But what really stood out to me was his assist. Now, granted, this is just his preseason debut, or his NBA debut, coming back into the NBA in general. But these are good so far. 10 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist on his return to the NBA, going up against the Timberwolves. And they did come out with the win on that game. It was 125 and 123, where Chicago came out on top with 125, and the Timberwolves 123. So, again, I'm excited. I am very, very, very excited for this, to see what he will do. Now, I really hope, and I pray that this man continues to stay healthy on the court. And listen, I don't really expect too much from Lonzo Ball, right? Because again, he's coming from an injury, and coming from a surgery due to the injury. So I don't expect too much of him to go ball out like crazy, but I am excited that he's back on the court in general, and he's willing to and he's ready to put out some, entertainment for the audience, right? To put out a show for the audience, and just for us to get to go and seeing what this man can do on that court. I like this man's creativity. I like his offensive creativity, and his defense. The defensive plays are really good as well in the preseason so far that I've seen so far. His preseason debut, in regards to his offense and his defense, very, very, very great, very, very, very on point. And I just hope he continues to stay healthy throughout the entirety of the season. That's what I hope for him so far. But also as well, we have Kawhi Leonard, who will be unfortunately sitting out indefinitely. Now, I don't know if the word indefinitely with him sitting out means that it's going to be this way for the entirety of this season. I very much so hope that's not the case, because at this point, I'm not going to lie, it's getting ridiculous. Very, very, very ridiculous at this point. Almost to the point where it's just like, you might as well retire, because it's almost like a recurring situation. We're always hearing that, Kawhi Leonard is facing injury after injury after injury, and he has to sit out. Granted, sometimes these things may not always be in our control, but then at other times they may be in our control. But it's just a recurring thing where we're always hearing him having to sit out, him having to be out every game because of an injury. Now, for this case, it seems to be that he's going through a knee rehab, if I'm not mistaken, due to an inflammation. He's going through a knee rehab, and so they're saying that he may be sitting out indefinitely. Now, again, I don't know if this is the case for him sitting out indefinitely throughout the season, the entire season of the NBA, or just the preseason. Now, again, I very much so hope that it's not him sitting out for the rest of the season, but just the preseason. If it's just him sitting out for the preseason, then that's fine. It is what it is. We leave it at that, and then we'll wait to see him come in and play for the regular season. So that's that for Kawhi Leonard right there. Again, it just seems to be very unfortunate that this is the case for him, but I hope that the rehab goes well. I hope the rehab goes very well for Kawhi Leonard, and that he's able to be healthy again and get back on the court and do what he used to do best, right? Because I can't say what he does best because he hasn't been on the court recently. But I hope he gets back to what he used to do best, is go out there, perform, get the crowd hyped, and, make some wins for the Los Angeles Clippers. And by the way, have you guys got to see the new look for the Clippers arena now? The Intuit Dome, I believe it's what it's called. The Intuit Dome. That arena looks crazy. I'm not going to lie. I at some point, I hope, I don't know how, but I want to be at that arena at some point because that arena looks very, very, very nice. This arena costs, I don't know exactly how much, but it has to be over $1 billion. That arena looks sick. It looks crazy good. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm very happy for the Clippers team because I believe they had to always share an arena with the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Because the Los Angeles Clippers didn't have their own arena. Period. They really didn't. They had to, I believe, share it with the Lakers at times to times. But I don't know if they also have to share with any other organization as well. But so far, it's been them sharing an arena with the Lakers. But now, this year, they finally have their very own arena, the Intuit Dome. And again, it looks sick. It looks sick. I don't know if you guys seen it so far, but I've seen it, all over the internet and all that stuff in videos. And it looks very, very, very neat and very creative. And so I'm glad to see that they have their own arena and that they don't have to share, their space with anybody else, right? So that's good for them. Now, for the Memphis Grizzlies, they have officially signed a 2-way multi-year contract for Scottie Pippen Jr. Now, Scottie Pippen Jr., I am very happy for this man. I'm very happy for this young man, this young individual. I'm saying young man like I'm not a young man, but I'm very excited for this guy because I feel like this man has been working very hard, very, very, very hard to secure a spot in the league. Because we've seen him, I've seen him mostly throughout, the summer league. Him trying to secure a spot playing in the summer league with the teams that he's been playing for. For example, with the Lakers, and I think he's played for another team too in the summer league. But now he's played for the Memphis Grizzlies during this year's summer league, and he has performed very, very well to the point where the Memphis Grizzlies were able to offer him a 2-year multi-year standard contract to play with them. And again, I'm very happy for this guy, man. I think he's earned it. He's worked very, very hard for it. And for you that don't notice, due to the name that I just cited out, he is a son. He is a son of Scottie Pippen himself. And he's been working his butt off for this. Granted, he has the name of his dad, Scottie Pippen, who's played alongside Michael Jordan. To do very great things playing alongside Michael Jordan, right? But they have their own issues, right? Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan have their own issues, but he's not focused on all of that. He's focused on making his own or paving his own path to securing a spot in the league and showcasing his skills while he's playing on the floor. So again, I'm happy for him. I'm very happy for this dude. He's played his heart out. He's worked hard for this, and I think it's a very well-earned contract. And I hope to continue to see more of his skill, more of his, more of his efforts being put on the court to help the Memphis Grizzlies secure a spot. Who knows? Maybe in the playoffs, maybe in the finals, right? Considering and hoping that Ja Morant is also healthy himself, because with Ja Morant a part of the Memphis Grizzlies, these guys can do a whole lot of things, right? Because Ja Morant, as we all know, is very talented. So if Ja Morant can stay healthy throughout the entirety of the season, then him playing alongside Scottie Pippen Jr., Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson Jr., and the rest of the crew, they can secure a spot. Let's say, I'm being a bit optimistic here, right? If they stay healthy and they do what they continue to do best, they can secure a spot in the finals. That's my opinion. That's what I think. If you guys think differently, you can let me know in the comments, on YouTube or on Facebook. But let me know your thoughts on that as well. But again, shout out to Scottie Pippen Jr. and I'm glad and happy for that guy. For next week, again, like I said before, will officially be the start and the tip-off of the regular season of the NBA, where two teams will be going up against each other, and that will be the New York Knicks going up against the Celtics, the Boston Celtics, and then we'll have the Timberwolves going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. Again, that will be the beginning of the regular season of the NBA with its tip-off. And I'm going to call my prediction for this match right here. The New York Knicks going up against the Boston Celtics. I say the Boston Celtics will take the dub for that game because, again, as of now, the Boston Celtics are sitting as the best team in the NBA so far. So far. Who knows? Another team may become the best team in the NBA in the near future. But as of now, it seems to be the case that Celtics has the best and the sharpest team in the league so far. So I'm calling my prediction for that game. Celtics taking the win on this one. I might be wrong. Then again, I might be right. But that's my prediction right there. And then for the Lakers going up against the Wolves, I think I'm going to say the Lakers are going to take this one. The Lakers are going to take the dub with that match going up against the Wolves there. So those are my predictions right there. Okay, moving on. We're going to focus on the WNBA Finals now, and we are going up with the New York Liberty facing the Minnesota Lynx. Now, the series so far is already looking bright for the New York Liberty as they are now sitting at 2-1, 2 wins, and Minnesota is sitting at 1 win. And the last match that they had on Wednesday, it ended off with the conclusion of the New York Liberty winning that match against the Minnesota Lynx with a score of 80-77. Now, Breanna Stewart, whew, the stats that Breanna Stewart was putting up during this match was crazy. I honestly thought that Sabrina would have been at a closer, maybe similar stat with Breanna Stewart, right? Because Breanna Stewart, she went in to drop 30 points. Listen, man, 30 points is crazy. She dropped 30 points on them boys. 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 1 assist. And then Sabrina came in with 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Now, I don't know what their stat scores were for the match before, but Breanna Stewart seems to be doing she seems to be doing her thing out there. 30 points is wild. Yeah, that's wild, man. That's a baller for sure. I thought Sabrina Ionescu would put some, points at least similar, close to that. But again, Sabrina doesn't disappoint at all. She is a baller too, for sure. But yeah, Sabrina dropped 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists during their last game, which was Wednesday, up against the Minnesota Lynx. And then the players for Minnesota Lynx, we had Nafisa Collier, who dropped 22 points, 2 assists, and 9 rebounds during that game, going up against New York. And then they had Kayla McBride, who dropped 19 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Now, they have a game coming up tonight, which will be at 8 p.m., which will be their 4th game. Now, I'm going to make my prediction for this game too, and I'm calling it. New York is taking the dub. New York is taking the dub for this game, and the reason why is because it might be because of the two players. Granted, everybody in their team is doing their part. They're playing their part as well. But I think Sabrina and Breanna Stewart are what makes the difference. Granted, this is just their stat for last game. It can be a completely different thing for them, for tonight's game as well, because they could ultimately lose for tonight's game, and then it'll end up being a tied series. But these two individuals, Breanna Stewart and Sabrina, are the very big difference that this team has in making them secure the dub for this year's WNBA Finals and becoming the WNBA champions, right? These two players are the ones that make the most difference in the team, and that's why me personally, because again, with the numbers and points that they're putting up, yeah, these ladies are balling out hard, crazy, nonstop, aggressive with the aggression, with the quickness. So again, I might be proven wrong with this. Who knows? Minnesota Lynx they could come out with the dub for tonight's game, but this is just my prediction and what I think will happen what I think they will do. I think, and I'm going to call the numbers out for the stats as well. So, Breanna Stewart, I think she's going to drop for tonight's game. I think she'll drop close to what she dropped last game, maybe 29, 27 points. Sabrina coming with 25, 26 points. And then I think she'll come in with like maybe more or less assists, maybe like 4 assists. And I'm talking about Sabrina right here. 4 assists, 5 rebounds still, and then 25, 26 points. And then Breanna Stewart, I'll give it 29, 27 points. 10 assists. No, not 10 assists. 10 rebounds, 9 rebounds, and then 5 assists for Breanna Stewart for tonight's game. Again, these are my predictions. This is what I think will happen. I might be wrong, but if you guys think different, let me know. But yeah, that will be all for what I got for you in the sports era. And as always, I will leave off with the Bible verse, just so you guys can harp on, think on, reflect on. And yeah, so this Bible verse will come from Luke chapter 14, verses 11. Again, this Bible verse comes from Luke chapter 14, verses 11, and it reads, "For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." Please allow me to read that for you again. It reads, "For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." So guys, remember, it's not wrong for you to have humility in life. It's not wrong for you to be humble at times, right? Every time we beat our chests, we act overly confident. We tend to be arrogant at times, right? We tend to be arrogant, sometimes ignorant. We think we know all things and we are on top of the world and everybody's beneath us and all that stuff, right? But at the end of the day, we are all sinners, right? We have all fall short of the glory of God, and we all have our flaws. We all make our mistakes. And so at times, it doesn't hurt, for you to be humble, have that humility of yourself, right? Because those are the ones that God lift up, right? Those that are humble, right? Those that don't, think of themselves highly over others, right? Those are the ones that God pick up, and the ones that are highly arrogant, highly confident, right? Those are the ones that God put down, right? Because again, we tend to lose ourselves when we try to act like we know all things and we are, greater than every other people and we are better than every other people. And really, we're just all human. At the end of the day, we all have our flaws. Again, we all have our mistakes. We make our mistakes, and we're just not perfect. I, for one, know I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect. And I'm not striving to be perfect, but I am striving to be better. I'm not striving to be perfect. I'm striving to be better. A better man every single day. And, do the best I can to be exactly what God wants me to be. And I hope you all do the same as well. But, yeah, just harp on that verse, think on that verse, reflect on that verse. Do whatever you like with that verse. But again, it's Luke chapter 14, verse 11. All right. So I love you guys. That will be the end for today's show. And yeah, again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ricky, and I will be here every Friday mornings for the time being, but Friday mornings from around 10 to 10:30. And yeah, I love you guys again, and I'll see you soon. Adios.